I'm Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer, and we are Ohm Center for Spiritual Living, and it's great to see you this morning if you're in this very room or if you're watching on Zoom live and direct, or thanks so much for being with us if you're watching a recording later. Glad to see all of you. Sylvia, when we found New Thought in 1992, that was the song that we always started our service with in this very room. I just absolutely love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And it was, I credit Reverend Suzette for hearing that and saying, that would be a great call to service song, so that when you hear it, it's time to settle down, get the crumbs off your face.
Right. Would you please?
Yes.
Well, I love that.
I do too.
So thank you. Thank you
and
so
you know
much for
what?
that.
You're welcome to sing along with it too. The words are really hard, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Reverend
appreciate
Suzette,
that.
give her all the credit.
Yep. Lesley, good morning and welcome. Great to see you. Thanks so much for being with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So our opening song is I Release and I Let Go.
Okay.
And stand if you would as we sing.
I'll just sing for you.
Okay. All right, here we go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Woo!
Please be seated.
So let's just take a breath in together. Just settle into this moment. Allow the chair to fully support you. As we just take these words into silent contemplation from Ernest Holmes. As I go forth today and embark on the wonderful experience of living, I am on a journey of self-discovery, and also the discovery of the self hidden in everyone and in the power back of everything. So once again, I just turn my awareness to the presence of the divine, knowing that in this very room, right here, right now, is the energy, the essence, the presence of that one divine life. I know that each one of us, that I am and that each of us are one in the same life. We are expressions of that divine being. And I know that on this day, we've each said yes to the purpose of our lives, and we have shown up, whether in person or online or watching at a later time. We have shown up, we said yes. Just like before the very incarnation of our lives, we stood up, we raised our hand boldly, and we said, yes, I'll go, I'll do it. I'll compress all this energy and vibration that I am into that tiny little human body, and I'll just fulfill my purpose and that vision that Spirit has for itself as me. And I know that today, this service is the fulfillment of that vision for each one of us. And I'm so grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for Reverend Jerry. I know that the inspiration of Spirit just moves through him, and that his message just touches our hearts individually, exactly what we need today to go forth and just to do our work in the world. And I know that it is clear what each of us is just meant to do in any given moment. And so I'm just so grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for the music and the technology and the hospitality and everything that goes into putting this service on, and just continuing the growth and evolution of this spiritual community. And I'm grateful to be a part of it today and every day. And so I just bless this service. I bless this time together. I allow it to unfold in perfect divine right order. I call it forth into being, saying, let it be done. And so it is. And now let's bring Miss Lesley Alexander back.
Good morning. If you know the song, sing along. Well, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along, and it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? It's a good day from morning till night, and it's a good day for shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. A good day from morning till night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun, rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going if you're gonna make a showing, and you've got the right of way. Well, it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for curing your ills. So take a deep breath, don't think about your pills. It's a good day from morning till night. Well, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along, and it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night, and it's a good day for shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. A good day from morning till night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun, rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going if you're gonna make a showing, and you've got the right of way. Well, it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for curing your ills. So take a deep breath, don't think about your pills. It's a good day from morning till night, 'cause it's It's a good day from morning till night. It's a good day from morning till night. It's a good day.
Such a great song. Lesley, thank you so much. That was awesome. So good morning once again, or good afternoon, or good evening if you're watching us from another time zone, and welcome. My topic for today, well, and let me start with, so our theme for the month of August, and as you may know, Centers for Spiritual Living, CSL, which is the organization that we're part of, invites all of the centers and churches around the world to talk about the same, based on the same theme every month. And so our theme for August is the fear and the furious. This week is courageous action, and my topic is mobilizing anger with courageous action after the why. Now what? So, as so often happens, whenever I am speaking with you, I am also speaking with myself. So thank you so much for being in this very room as I talk to myself. So the theme for the month is the fear and the furious, and today we're going to talk more about the furious part. You would probably agree with me that life, your life, my life, would be so much easier if people just behave themselves. If you just do what I want you to do, if you just drive the way I want you to drive, if you just act the way I want you to act, your life would be so much easier, and God knows mine would, right? Yes, it would be so much easier. But alas, and this has been my experience and probably yours, they don't always do that. So what happens when something happens? How do we react or respond? Are we able to sleep through the night after that something happens? The other title for this talk could be In Search of a Good Night's Sleep. And we'll talk more about that. So I think it was the 2nd century, Socrates wisely said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So why does this bother me so much? Why am I so upset about this? Why does this keep happening? Because we know what we focus on expands. So if we're focusing on this, we're going to get more of this unless and until we change our belief about it and our reaction to it. And is there a way to turn that negative response and that upset into something positive moving forward? You've heard me talk about spiritual bypass and toxic positivity. And sometimes we try to minimize our feelings about what somebody else is doing, and we might say, well, they did the best they could. And that is quite possibly true, but that doesn't mean I have to like it and be happy about it. We human beings tend to do things to make ourselves feel better. We reach over and turn up the air conditioner when it's supposed to be 95 degrees in La Mesa today. Oif. We might go on vacation to Hawaii, or depending on your choice, you can go west and go to Hawaii, go east and go to the Caribbean, or go to the mountains, or go to wherever you want to go. We might get really cool new stuff, cars, boats, whatever, jewelry, whatever. We might go out and have a really wonderful time. But at some point, and unless you won Powerball last night, at some point we have to come home from the trip, we have to end the dinner, we have to stop whatever that is that we're doing to try and make ourselves feel better. The point being, outside of ourselves, it's just a temporary fix. Whereas if we look at why am I upset about this? Why am I not at peace about this? And change whatever our belief is about that, then we can still go to Hawaii if we want to, but we don't have to run away from our lives because our lives are wonderful and we're at peace in this very room. So that's what we're about today. Because A Course in Miracles, and if I could tattoo something on the inside of my eyelids, I would tattoo this quote from A Course in Miracles: I could see peace instead of this. No matter what it is, I could see peace instead of this. So why don't we? So what we're talking about today, and the other theme for the month and for today, has to do with courageous action. And I would suggest that anytime we look within ourselves to question why I'm upset about this, or why does this keep happening, anytime we live the examined life that Socrates talked about, it's courageous, rather than just keep going and we just keep going and we just keep schlepping along and this just keeps happening time after time. And the example that I like to use is, so we're at Mission Trails Park and we are walking along and we're doing our hike and it's 70 degrees because we're not doing it today, obviously, but it's a wonderful balmy day, but we notice we have a rock in our shoe. But we just keep walking and we just keep walking, and it gets a little more painful, and so we move our pinky toe to make room for the rock, but we just keep walking and we just keep walking, and it gets more painful and more painful unless and until we finally stop and take our shoe off, shake the pebble out, and put our shoe back on and move forward. How often in our lives do we have that pebble that it's painful, I don't like it, it makes me angry, but I just haven't been willing to stop and look at what it is, release it, and move forward. So that's what we're talking about today. Sometimes the rock is our story. So okay, so this is Sunday, so you went out. Maybe you went out and I don't, but you might have gone out Saturday night, because sometimes we go out Saturday night and you're just hanging out and you meet somebody, if you are in a position to be meeting somebody, and they're just really cool, and you feel like there's a click there. And now, back in the day, we would write down our phone number on a piece of paper and hand it to them. In 2026, we probably just exchange numbers on our smartphones, and they say, I'll call you and we'll have dinner next week. But they haven't called. And now it's a week later and they haven't called. And they still haven't called. Or you applied for a job, this most amazing opportunity, and it's your dream job. It's what you've always wanted to do. It's absolutely perfect. It's totally fit for you, and you apply, and they haven't called. And they haven't called. And they haven't called. What does this mean? So often we assign meaning and story to whatever is going on in our lives based on what might have happened 20 or 30 or 50 years ago. Because back when we were in high school, many of us, well, all of us, but many of us especially, if we were in high school and we met somebody, or we applied for our first job and we didn't get it and they didn't call, so often we look at the appearance of whatever it is and write the story. So they didn't call. Of course they didn't call. I'm not old enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not attractive enough. I said something stupid. They're not going to call. Nobody's ever going to call. I will never be loved. I will live the rest of my life alone. Or I didn't get that job. Of course I didn't get that job because I'm not smart enough. I'm either not enough something or I'm too much of something else. And so the story that we tell ourselves based only on our assumptions. Remember what assume does? It's not pulpit worthy, and ask me afterwards if you don't remember, but how often do we assume and judge by appearances based on what only we can see, which is a very small part of whatever it is, plus what might have happened 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, or that our parents told us or our friends told us? You probably remember the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and one of the agreements is don't make assumptions. There we go. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they're real. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally, then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our word. That is why whenever we make assumptions, we are asking for problems. All the sadness and drama you have had in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. How often do I do that? Well, they didn't call because, or I wasn't included in that meeting because. And the truth is, we never know. We never know why people are doing what they're going to do. So how important it is to recognize that the reason that they didn't call is because they didn't call. The reason that I didn't get that job is because there's something better. I could see peace instead of this. So there is my story, and there are my rules. Now, as we talked about before, if people would just do what King Jerry wants them to do, life would be so much easier and we could just go on from here. But alas, and you've heard me talk before about being on time. Now, if you came in after 10 o'clock this morning, please know that I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking to myself. But I have a thing about being on time. If you were married in a traditional ceremony and you said, until death do us part, and nobody died, but the relationship changed, do you still have guilt and regret and all that about the fact that you said you were going to do that and you didn't? Or do you recognize that the death can sometimes be the relationship, not the physical body? I could see peace instead of this. Can we ask for help? I have a rule about that. Must somehow, some way, growing up, I got that you can do this, you should do this for yourself. You should figure out, my favorite word, you should figure out how to do this, because if you don't, if you ask for help, you're lazy, and you get to fill in the blank. Or am I really wise when I ask for help, recognizing that I don't know how to do this, and it's okay that I don't know how to do this, and I'm willing to ask somebody to help me? So how are we when somebody else breaks one of our rules? How are we when we break one of our own rules? Interesting question. Do we carry the regret and the shame and all the rest of that? And you've heard my story about being in Philadelphia in the 1990s and being late for a business meeting, and I won't bore you with that. But the point is, I know that the universe has a sense of humor, and it brings us wonderful people, has brought me, and I know it does you as well, wonderful people who don't have such rules about whatever it is. And here's another opportunity, Jerry, for you to decide what's important and what's not. For you to be reminded that, yes, it's your rule, but it's not everybody else's, and to not assume what they mean by being late, and just recognize that it's my rule, not somebody else's. We offer ourselves and others unconditional love when we recognize, finally, and it's taken me some number of years, and we won't go into how many, but it's taken me some number of years to recognize that it's my rule, not theirs. And I love this quote from Thomas Merton. The beginning of love is to let those we love be perfectly themselves, and not to twist them to fit our own image. Otherwise, we love only the reflection of ourselves that we find in them. Yeah, I know, huh? Yes, yeah. Many of you know, most of you know ad nauseum that I work with 18 to 24-year-olds who have no rules related to being on time. And so we're doing this at 10 o'clock, and you need to be there at 10 o'clock. And probably 20 minutes to 11 is when we finally get started. And first time we tried to do a class, we're trying to do a gathering, I'm getting really upset because we said, and the still small voice finally got a word in edgewise and said, look at who you're talking to. And these young people, and the teachers and former teachers in this very room will relate to this, look at who you're dealing with, and especially for my folks who were homeless, never had the opportunity maybe to learn about the importance of being on time and all of that. So make it into a learning experience and remind them gently that when you have a job interview, when you get a job and go to work, you're going to need to be on time. So I really like this. Let's start practicing for the next chapter in your life by getting your butt in here on time when we're doing a class. I really like that, with slight adjustment. But the point is allowing other people to be who they are and their rules, and then negotiate. Because if I have a dear one, and I do have a dear one he's not even ish. You know, it's so 10 o'clock-ish, it's like 10:45 or 10:50. And I got really upset a few times because it means he doesn't care, he's disrespectful, all the rest of that. And the truth is, it's just not that big a deal to him. So, but if it's that big a deal to me, I can negotiate into something that feels better. And if I say 10 o'clock and you really wind up at 11:15, just tell me you're going to be late. It's okay. I could see peace instead of this. I could not lose sleep over this, but I have to allow myself to look at what I believe about this and make the adjustments as necessary. So what keeps me out of peace is my story, my rules, and my shadow. Remember, it was 1927, believe it or not, the song, Me and My Shadow, Strolling Down the Avenue, right? Irving Berlin, Al Jolson, Billy Rose, and Dave Dreyer wrote this song about, and the truth is, we're always strolling down the avenue with our shadow. Carl Jung and Debbie Ford wrote a lot about and talked a lot about this concept of the shadow, and the shadow being that part of us that we don't want to look at. Because you've heard me say this before and you will again, because I am charming and sparkling and patient and compassionate and wonderful. Thank you very much. And hateful and surly and judgmental and impatient and all of those other things. And oh, by the way, so are you. You're I'm sorry? We should do a class on that. Yes, 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 we talked about that. I got to work on that. Thank you. No, that's okay. Thank you for the reminder. But I love the concept of this because what happens is, at some point, I'm not going to be patient. I'm not going to be compassionate. I'm not going to be all those things that I should be. And then I have the baseball bat with me that I beat myself up because I wasn't that I'm trying to be. That's my shadow. I have a great quote from the book Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. Our own personal shadow is made up of those parts of our being that we experience as unacceptable. Our families and culture let us know early on which qualities of human nature are valued and which are frowned upon. Because we want to be accepted and loved, we try to fashion and present a self that will attract others and secure our belonging. But we inevitably express our natural aggression or neediness or fear, parts of our emotional makeup that frequently are taboo, and the significant people in our life react to us. Whether we are mildly scolded, ignored, or traumatically rejected, on some level we are hurt and ushed away. How often do we hear about someone in the public life, and especially, with all due respect, a politician who is so this way, and this is how it is, and everybody else is wrong and awful, and it turns out that they're one of the everybody else's times 50. And it was their shadow. Because if I am all that, I'm that too that I rail against and shame and talk against. And the problem is, and Debbie Ford did an amazing movie, and I forget the name of it, but the opening scene is a bunch of people in the swimming pool with beach balls, and they're holding the beach ball underneath them in the water. You might have seen this movie, and they're holding it, and they're holding it, and they're okay, but at some point they just move wrong, and the ball goes whoom, and that's my shadow. That I denied, that I hid, that I tried to keep under wraps, at some point blew up. I believe that's why we have road rage, is because we're not allowing ourselves to see that, yes, I am that. I am angry. I am frustrated. I am whatever. And then it just slips right out in surprising and wonderful ways. So if we look at what we believe is wrong or bad and reframe into recognizing that all of those things I am, and maybe it's not so bad after all. For example, bragging. Ever spent time with somebody that just couldn't stop talking about themselves, and you just want to say, remember the movie Beaches? Bette Midler says, "But enough about me. What do you think of me?" Yeah, such a great line. But ever spent time with somebody that's on and on and on and on and on and on and on? And I hate people who brag. And yet, when I go apply for a job, when I meet somebody and they say, "Well, tell me about yourself," I'm bragging about myself. But what if we renamed that self-confidence? And maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's to a point. I mean, I do have to be someplace tomorrow, so we don't have the rest of the day and the night for you to tell me all about you. But the point is, up to a point, what if we renamed that and thought about that as self-confidence rather as bragging? Flighty is an old word, but What if you were judged or you judged somebody else as being flighty, what if we changed that to be spontaneous, creative, and positive thinking? Coming on too strong. What if we called that leadership ability? Because the truth is, especially if you're leading a team, and whether that's volunteers at church or at work or whatever, if you're leading a team, you need to be able to motivate them and move them along. Too demanding is really working to get things done in the world. So the point is, these attributes of our personality that we judged as wrong or bad and kept under wraps, what if we reframe them into something positive and recognize that all of those are necessary for us to do what we came here to do? And then what really keeps me out of peace is you and your shadow. And Debbie Ford and Carl Jung refer to it as shadow projection, because we see people who are greedy and liars and racist and hateful and hurtful. And when have I been that? Because if I am that, and there's no judgment here, there's no guilt here, it's just in the recognition that maybe the reason that I get so upset about what you're doing is because I've been that as well. Interesting question. Again, the point being, I could see peace instead of this. That's what we're about, without having to get on a plane and go someplace, or without having to get our credit card out, or without having to do anything, just allowing ourselves to look at that situation and tell a different story. Excuse me. So after we recognize the why am I so upset about this? Why am I losing sleep about this? Now what? Rather than looking outside of ourselves to feel better, is there a way to channel our anger and frustration into something positive and life-changing? There is, starting with the question, why am I reacting this way? Why do I feel this way? And the way that we can answer that is through mindfulness. I'm sure you've heard that term before. Thich Nhat Hanh was a Buddhist monk from Vietnam, and in the book Anger, Wisdom for Cooling the Flames, he writes, the energy of mindfulness is the energy of being present, body and mind united. When you practice mindful breathing or mindful walking, you become free of the past, free of the future, free of your projects, and you become totally alive and present again. Freedom is the basic condition for you to touch life, to touch the blue sky, the trees, the birds, the tea, and the other person. Train yourself to drink your tea mindfully, or your coffee, or your moonshine, or whatever it is you're drinking. To become a free person while drinking tea. Train yourself to be a free person while you make breakfast. In one of his other books, he talks about washing the dishes. Remember that? Yeah, washing the dishes mindfully, and you smell the soap, and you feel the hot water on your hands. Really wonderful concept, because how often are we, while we're eating this, we're thinking about what we're doing later this afternoon, or what we're having for dinner, or still mad because they did something or said something, rather than being fully mindful in the moment of the C's lemon truffle, or whatever the case might be. Any moment of the day is an opportunity for you to train yourself in mindfulness and to generate this energy. So anger, because you did that, or you didn't do that, or that didn't happen, or that did happen, is sometimes looked at as fire. So the opportunity for us is to mobilize rather than sitting and stewing, to walk through the fire, again, looking at why we are angry and to get to the other side. So anytime I want to talk about walking through fire, oh, I just said that, but there's the picture. So anytime I want to talk about walking through fire, I have to talk about Edwene Gaines. And many of you know she made her transition earlier this week. She had a, she had a retreat center outside of Fort Payne, Alabama. Absolutely amazing place and every time she had a retreat, weather permitting, she did a fire walk. I was there 5 times. There is no way in this life, the next one, or the one after it that I'm going to walk on fire. There is no way. Not only is there no way, but there is no way. And I walked 4 times, 4 different occasions, and the last time I did not. And that was almost more empowering for me to say, no, this is not mine to do, than it was to do it. Because that's a big part of the preparation, is to spend some time in the silence determining if this is yours to do or not. And most people said yes, but occasionally somebody said no. And it's so amazingly empowering. But so she sold the retreat center about 5 years ago and then moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and was living near her daughter and son-in-law, and made her transition this last Wednesday. But just absolutely amazing lady. The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, her main book, such a great book. But the steps for walking on fire, and I would suggest the steps for us moving through anger and all the rest of this that we've talked about. Pay attention, so you get your guidance of what this is, why this is bothering me, what do I need to do. Pay attention, expect the best, know that you're going to be able to walk through this and move on. Go for it and take the first step. Because willingness is not an action word. I am willing to go to the gym this afternoon. I'm willing to not eat the rest of the cake. I'm willing to whatever the case might be, but that's not an action word. So we're willing to do it, we look at it, we decide to do it, but then we take the first step, whatever that first step is. So we see why we're angry. We see why we are not at peace. But I would also suggest that this is not a call for us to be passive doormats. That is not what we're here to do. We are here to speak our truth, to choose what is ours to do and what is not. And very often, there's stuff going on out there that we see that makes us really angry. And I don't know about you, but sometimes, boy, there's a post on social media and I really want to respond to that, and I respond to it, and then I'm done and I feel much better. Well, thank you. Yeah, it takes a little more than that. And so I would suggest for us, if there's something going on in the community that you see, whether it's homelessness, whether it's pets, homeless pets, whether it's food insecurity, just whatever it is that bugs you, that's the still small voice saying, well, maybe you could ... We're in the organization that I work with in downtown San Diego is at 5th and Ash, and 1 block up and 1 block west is serving seniors. And they're an organization that does what we do with 18 to 24-year-olds with people who look like me. And it's just heartbreaking because there's a whole lot of people that look like me outside sitting on the sidewalk waiting for health services or waiting for hygiene supplies or waiting for housing referrals. And then if I leave like late in the afternoon, there are people camped out on the sidewalk who, and I need to stop talking about this and go see what I can do to support them as well. But it just flies in the face of logic, because when you get to be a certain age, breaks my heart. But anyway, the point is, if there's something that makes our tails wag in a, I wish this wasn't happening, there's the opportunity to turn that anger and that frustration into action. And so I invite us to look at that and see where we can make a difference in the world. Because that's what, at the end of the day, as we know, that's what we're about. Okay, so with that in mind, join me in the light for just a minute. So in the peace and the quiet of this moment, we give great thanks for the opportunity to be together again today in this wonderful, cool place. We give great thanks for this beloved community and the opportunity to be reminded of the truth of our being, that we really are the beloved. We're the essence, expression, and experience of spirit. And as such, because of this oneness with all that is, with the one mind, we know that we can ask, why is this bugging me? Ask, seek, and knock, we read in the New Testament. And then be willing to change the story, to change the rules, to acknowledge and even embrace the shadow. Because what we're here to do is express and experience all the good that life has for us, and we can't if we're stuck in something from the past. So we give thanks for this day, for our time to be together, and we move forward in wisdom, in passion, in possibility. And we say thank you. And together we say, and so it is. Thanks, everybody. Lesley, welcome back.
I know at least half of you know this song, so please sing along. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, so please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see, wait and see. If you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. Oh, I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a Thank you.
You have an index card and an envelope at your chair this morning, and if something came up for you while I was talking, or if you came with something on your heart or a celebration that you'd like to share with our ministers and practitioners, I invite you to write a prayer request on that index card, and we'll take just a couple of minutes to do that, and then we will collect those. Also, if you would like to give a tithe or offering or donation this morning, we appreciate that very much. You can use the envelope for cash or check, or you can also give on the website or through PayPal or Venmo, or just a variety of ways, and we appreciate that very much. So we'll take just a couple of minutes. Would come forward.
So, just opening my heart, my remembrance and awareness of the presence of the divine. here and now, right here, right now. It is always ever present in my awareness of it and even in my forgetfulness of it. It's like the beating of my heart. I don't have to think about it. It just continues. And so Spirit is just filling this space right here. And I just remember my oneness with the divine. I know that Spirit had need of an expression of itself as me, and so I am the fulfillment of that vision. And so what I know is that the truth of me in my life is that I am perfect, whole, and complete. That all the qualities of God I experience and embody in my life. And so as I know this truth for and about myself, I know this truth for and about each of those who have submitted prayer requests today, that we are all one in this same life, and that all the abundant qualities of the divine are the qualities of each one of us here today. And so the truth that I know is for healing, physical healing, and just for a new experience in life as we step into a new chapter in our lives, that there's peace, that there's order, and that the peace in our own lives spreads out and expresses in the broader community and in the world indeed. And for those who have experienced the loss of a loved one, a family member, or someone who is on the verge of transition, I just know peace and wholeness, and just knowing that this is the divine evolution of life. And so I also know that anyone who is experiencing the appearance of illness or dis-ease, I know that there is wholeness, that there is a perfect and divine order, just bringing good and bringing healing and health and wholeness. And just knowing that that gratitude grows as we express our gratitude, that it just continues to grow and express itself in the fulfillment of our deepest desires. And once again, for our loved ones, I just know that as we set the intention for guidance and for love and for wholeness, that Spirit just moves in and gives us that peace and direction and clarity and connection, and that these bonds of love just continue to grow, and Spirit always says yes. And I'm so grateful just to know this truth, to declare it and claim it on behalf of each one of these. I stand on the mountaintop and shine the light of truth on each of these prayer requests. I know that the crooked ways are made straight. I know that the light shines and every dark nook and cranny. And I know that the truth prevails always. Love always wins. And so it's from this place of gratitude and joy and thanksgiving and just knowing the greater truth. I speak my word. I release it into the law. As I release it into the law, I know that it is the nature of the law to receive my word, act upon it. It can only say yes. Nothing else. It only says yes. And so I just know that these are fulfilled. And so as I release my word, I pass this light to Reverend Jerry.
And I gratefully accept that light. And I recognize for myself, for everyone here, for our dear ones, and for everyone everywhere, that we are the essence, expression, and experience of Spirit. And anything unlike love, anything unlike perfect health, anything unlike perfect peace, we just release now. We recognize that the truth of our being is love, and it is the truth of everyone else's being as well. So we release that which no longer serves us. We release the stories and the rules and the anything unlike love, and move forward in joy and possibility for ourselves and for our dear ones as well. We know that each person is the beloved, and so we recognize that we are always divinely guided, and so we come together in love to speak our truth, to say what needs to be said, and move forward in oneness and in possibility. And we pray for our dear ones, knowing that they are the beloved as well. And we give thanks also today for our financial gifts. We lovingly accept the financial gifts, knowing that abundance is the truth of our being. For that, for all of this, we say yes, thank you, and more please. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Okay. We did that. Okay, and we did that. Okay. Wonderful to see you all this morning in this cool place. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Lesley Alexander, once again, thank you, as always. Great music this morning. Martin, we absolutely could not do what we do without you. Thank you once again for being there. Ushers, greeters, setup teams, everybody else that allowed us to do what we do. And Sylvia, for your music as well. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it very much. Stand if you would. We will say our 2 affirmations and then sing Let There Be Peace. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And I am an expression of God, born into the richness and abundance of the indwelling presence. Today, I walk upon my world, consciously creating oneness within and around me. And so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment